Brian Michael Bendis' run on Daredevil is legendary. It's gritty, it's dramatic, and with Alex Maleev's moody artwork, it redefined Matt Murdock for a new era. But here's the catch. While it worked perfectly as a self-contained story, like a season of prestige TV, it left Daredevil the comic in absolute shambles. What Bendis created was a masterwork with a beginning, middle, and end. The problem? Ongoing comics can't end, and Matt Murdock has never fully recovered. Let's break down the brilliance, the fallout, and why every writer after Bendis was left cleaning up his mess. Before Bendis took over in the early 2000s, Daredevil was in flux. Kevin Smith had done Guardian Devil, and David Mack followed with parts of a whole, but the book lacked a consistent vision under the new Marvel Knights banner. Enter Bendis, who brought street-level noir, grounded crime drama, and consequences that felt real. For readers, it was a breath of fresh air. For Marvel, it was lightning in a bottle. But serialized comics thrive on the illusion of change. And Bendis went a step too far. He made changes that couldn't easily be undone. Let's be clear, Bendis' Daredevil is brilliant. The Underboss arc took down the Kingpin, leaving a power vacuum in Hell's Kitchen. The Out storyline exposed Matt's secret identity in the tabloids, creating endless tension. His entire run with Maleev dripped with noir atmosphere, turning Daredevil into more crime drama than superhero book. For years, this was the definitive Daredevil. Readers loved it, critics praised it, but what worked so well as a dramatic arc created massive problems for anyone who had to write the book afterwards. The fallout and the mess left behind. Matt's identity exposed. The Out arc made Matt's secret identity public. A brilliant twist for a novel, but for ongoing comics, it was a nightmare. You can't just unring that bell. Ed Brubaker, who followed Bendis, had to spend his entire first arc, The Devil in Cell Block D, with Matt in prison. I mean, he did the best with that storytelling, and Brubaker's a great writer, but wasn't building new foundations. He was forced to keep playing Bendis' game. For the Kingpin dethroned, Bendis also dismantled the Kingpin. Wilson Fisk was left powerless, his empire shattered. In isolation, perfect crime drama for a show. In ongoing continuity, a problem. The Kingpin is Daredevil's ultimate nemesis. You can't keep him down forever, so later writers had to painstakingly rebuild Fisk, eventually pushing him all the way to mayor of New York, just to make him relevant again. Then, the part that I don't care for the most is the marriage to Mila Donovan. It just never felt right. Bendis introduced Mila Donovan, who quickly became Matt's wife. Again, it was drama, but it trapped Daredevil in domestic realism that comics can't sustain. Brubaker had to break them apart. Mr. Fear drove Mila insane with chemicals, and Matt annulled the marriage. Matt's the perfect ladies' man. She was written out, a powerful emotional scar but baggage every future writer had to carry. As for this other supporting cast, Ben Urich nearly collapses as a journalist. Vanessa Fisk is forced into extremes. Mila is permanently damaged. It's great drama, but it later left writers fewer tools to play with instead of flexible sandbox to play with. They inherited broken pieces. Then there's the Murdock Papers cliffhanger. Bendis ended his run with the Murdock Papers, the FBI closing in on Matt with undeniable proof, and then he left. No resolution, no conclusion, just a giant cliffhanger for Ed Brubaker to solve. Brubaker didn't get to choose how his run began. He had to start in the wreckage, writing Matt's prison arc to resolve Bendis' dangling threads. And then there was the tone change. But finally, Bendis locked Daredevil in a tone that was nearly impossible to escape. For a TV show, it was perfect. It was realism, consequences, a dramatic conclusion, but for monthly comics, it was suffocating. Readers don't want courtroom battles every month forever. Brubaker leaned into crime drama because he had no choice. Mark Waid eventually swung back the other way, introducing swashbuckling fun just to escape the Bendis shadow. But even today, never truly recovered. TVs versus comics, the key difference. And here's the irony. Bendis' Daredevil is almost perfect for a TV show. It had a tight beginning, middle, and end. High drama, a finality that feels earned. But in comics, ongoing superheroes don't end. Readers expect another issue, another arc, another battle in Hell's Kitchen. So while Bendis gave us one of the best Daredevil stories ever told, he left behind a broken status quo. For comics, it felt like Matt's story was done. You could just be done with the book after that. And every writer since has been right in the aftermath. So what do we make of Bendis' Daredevil today? It's brilliant, essential reading. A must-have in any Marvel collection. But it's also a cautionary tale. In comics, you can't just write a definitive ending and walk away. Someone else has to keep the lights on. And when you look at Daredevil's last 20 years, prison arcs, tone resets, constant rebuilding, you realize Matt Murdock is still living in Bendis' shadow. Maybe that's the mark of greatness, or maybe it's the biggest mess Marvel's ever let out the door. Either way, Bendis' Daredevil proves one thing. Sometimes the best stories don't fit in ongoing comics. They belong on TV. What other legendary runs do you think left their successors with a mess? Let me know in the comments.
If you enjoy comics as much as we do, we hope you'll come join us.